Well, it's interesting. Being an author was harder. The thing about being an author is you sit there, and if you don't produce, it doesn't go away. I mean, you're a member of Congress, and things are happening, and the reel is running, and the movie's going to end. But you're an author; it's all up to you. And in fact, look, it's personal. But if writing was easier for me than doing the kind of talking, negotiating, etc., then I probably never would have been a congressman in the first place. I would have stayed with my original intention. So I should publicly single out one member of my family and sort of diminish all the others. But in fact, fortunately, I don't have to lie to say that I couldn't answer that. It's not true. They all contributed in various ways. My father had died by the time he died when I was 20. So he obviously was a major factor early in my life. But for my political career, my mother, both of my sisters, my brother, and then their spouses and their children. In the case of my sister and brother, all were enormously helpful. And no, it was a group effort. They were all personally supportive, but also politically very helpful.
Oh, God, I have such a complicated history with Miami Beach, which is why it always appears in so many of my novels. I just think it was the overall sense of being almost like a castaway from the rest of the United States. Almost every day there was a feeling of being cut off and separated in a kind of paradise lost for Jews. And there was always a sense of that, and I think it influenced me greatly and ended up being part of my fictional landscape. Two people for different reasons. One was Bill Clinton, because he was very, very smart, and he wanted to talk about things that I wasn't really prepared to talk about. I asked him all kinds of questions, and he was moving on to some other subject. So I had to think very quickly to keep up with him. And then the second was Dick Cavett, I must say, because although he may not be remembered by the newer generation, of my era, he really was sort of the Mount Rushmore of television intelligent talk show hosts. And he was very witty, of course, and very smart, and we had a very interesting exchange. And I think it meant a lot to me to I'd grown up on Miami Beach watching this guy's show on various different networks, and then there I was interviewing him. And then I'll tell you who else, Scott Turow and I enjoyed each other immensely. We talked for obviously an hour or so, but I thought it was one of the better conversations that we've hosted at the Forum on Law, Culture, and Society.